Hi, I'm Fetcher Camino. Welcome to Bombs Away. Today on Bombs Away, I'm going to be telling you about my newest obsession, Ted Lasso, an American comedy series set in Britain and about football, I suppose. It's an absolutely incredible series, brilliantly written, brilliantly acted, brilliantly shot, basically everything. And today I'm going to be telling you about why I love it so much and some of the technical aspects that make it great. The first thing I'd have to say I love about the show is the show's premise. It is about Ted Lasso, an American football coach, coming to England to coach a soccer team, which, well, in Britain they call it football. This is the start of an incredible comedy drama show that even if you're not interested in sports, you are guaranteed to love. The premise is just so good and it gives the actors so much to work with and the writers so much to do. There's some of that classic comedy about the differences between the Americans and the English, with a long-running tea gag that really should feel overused, but actually is absolutely hilarious.
I always figured that tea was just going to taste like hot brown water. And you know what? I was right. Yeah, it's horrible. No, thank you.
Another thing I love about the show is just the acting. Though Jason Sudeikis is supposed to be the main character of Ted Lasso, I really see it as more of an ensemble show. Every character gets a chance to shine, whether in an episode or just in one scene, just really gets to explore their character. And you can tell that the actors are having so much fun with it because they really get to have a scene where they get to really show the audience what they can do as that character. It's just brilliant. Every actor gets their chance. The acting is just so top notch, and I really shouldn't pick any favorites because I really love them all, but if I had to pick one, it'd have to be Jeremy Swift as Leslie Higgins. Just incredible comedy sidekick. I don't know, just an incredible character, so nuanced and yet so funny. He's just the best character in the show, in my opinion. I just love watching any scene with him in it. But really, the entire cast is really good, and I can go on for hours and hours about what I love about each individual character and how I love them all so very, very much. But I won't. I'll just leave it at that. The acting is superb. But of course, you can't have great acting and great characters without some top-notch writing. And Ted Lasso has that in spades. The writing is by Jason Sudeikis, Bill Lawrence and Brendan Hunt, and you can tell that they are incredibly experienced and incredibly skilled. Years and years of experience writing comedy and drama, just incredible stuff that they must all be bringing to the table. I would love to be a fly on the wall in one of their writing sessions because the writing in this is just so good. I said about the characters, but just the whole way the plots are made, just incredibly complex subplots that run through it, like Seinfeld, but through a whole season, and just really, really brilliant, nuanced character stuff. It's never hard to follow, but it makes you work for it. And I think a really good show has to engage with the audience to really reach its full potential. And purely from a technical standpoint, I just love the cinematography. When I started watching the first episode, I thought, well, for a comedy drama show, this looks a little, complex. It was using a lot of shallow depth of field stuff, a lot of golden hour stuff, a lot of really incredibly inventive lighting techniques that look great, but I thought it isn't really right for a comedy show. And yet as the season went on, I saw how it really fit with the writing and with the acting, and now it's absolutely one of my favorite parts of the show. It's just incredibly well shot. And the last thing I would have to say, it's just fun. Okay, it's the most fun I've ever had watching a show since Only Murders in the Building, which, incidentally, is my favorite TV show of all time, so that just gives you an idea. It's absolutely fantastic to watch. You can tell the actors are having fun, you can tell the writers are loving it, you can tell that everyone is really giving it their all because they're loving it. It's just a show with so much heart, with so much optimism, with so much fun and so much comedy and so much laughter. It's just something that's missing these days. Writers seem to be thinking that in this modern age, to write something, it has to have a lot of conflict, and certainly conflict is an important part of every show. But if you have too much, then it just becomes dark, and it just becomes dark comedy. This is a great example of modern light humor, positive humor. Though, if I was to level one criticism at the show, and really this is just a tiny thing, I just think it's something that they could possibly have done better. It's set in Britain, and so of course, inevitably, I compare it to other British shows that I've seen. I think that this show has a lot of similarities to a show that I absolutely adore called Detectorists. It's very similar in how the characters are incredibly well formed. It's sort of very much a very nuanced, subtle piece, and I think Detectorists is probably the closest show that I can possibly think sort of compares to Ted Lasso. But the difference is that Ted Lasso is just so, just at times, it's really obvious that it's an American show. It's got a lot of energy, it's obviously trying to go as fast as it can because, oh, we're Americans, and we gotta put a lot of music, we gotta edit it really fast because if we slow down, then people might get bored. You don't have to do that. You seriously don't. They could learn a lot of lessons from Detectorists, a show which really takes its time to unravel the characters, and it never gets dull. Detectorists is always incredibly engaging, and I loved every second of it. You don't need to go so fast, and I think it would have been great if Ted Lasso had just slowed down a little bit. Well, that's about it for this video. There's definitely going to be a lot more on Ted Lasso. Flynn and I will probably do an analysis video on it after we finish season 3. We'll really sit down and really delve deep into it. Because I've only just finished watching the first season. I only started a week ago and I've already finished it. That's how much I love it. So it probably won't be too far away. A full breakdown of all of the seasons of Ted Lasso. So please like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications because new videos are coming in all the time. So please do all that great stuff. And until next time, I'm Fletcher Camino from Bombs Away.